It's more frustrating watching our team sometimes when you can go from great to whatever tonight was. I thought, and you try to build them up. You told them how good they played in Calgary, and we did an awful lot of good things. And then we come here, and it's not even the same team. So it's hard to understand sometimes.
It seemed like there was a difficult time penetrating the middle of the ice, getting to some of those scoring areas. Is that how you saw it as well, and what needs to change
Yeah,
there?
well, what needs to change is you got to get there. It's your job. Uh, you can't turn pucks over at the blue line when they're standing up and they're guarding the blue line. You got to get it behind them. And if you look at any game we've had success, that we get the puck behind them and we beat them below the circles. We're not a team that comes up and scores a lot of 3-on-2 pretty goals with the fourth man coming up, and that it's a grinding kind of team that works hard to get goals. So that's what our identity is supposed to be, and when we don't do that, we have a hard time getting scoring chances.
You moved Miller back to the wing. Is that just trying to generate something, or how did you think you played?
Well, obviously everything wasn't working going the other way, and so sometimes you try to load up one line and hopefully the other three lines can check and you can get something with one line. But it's my job to try to find things to make them click when I can see from the bench that things aren't working and players aren't going. So you try to mix and match and put something together.
Just 5 block shots as a group, and they scored a couple of long-distance shots. Is that indicative of sort of a lack of buy-in tonight?
It sure is, type thing. You look at what they blocked, and you can look at any team. When you've got 15 plus blocks on any night, that team wins the game. And I didn't know 5 was our number, but that was indicative of them getting in the long shots on us not blocking them, but getting in the goalie's eyes so he can't see them.
I think you said the other day, one of the days, that JT would really probably prefer to play center. And he had an opportunity tonight. He had an opportunity at the start of the year. What do you see in his game that he just hasn't been as good at center this year as he was last year?
I don't know. We haven't seen him enough out there for me to tell you. So, tonight it wasn't the fact that he wasn't doing anything at center. It was the fact that I was trying to get the one line going, and maybe if we had one line going, you can almost play them an awful lot and just have the other lines chip in and defend. But that didn't work either.
Are you hopeful that Pedersen and/or Besser will be available for Monday?
I'm hoping. That's, we'll see tomorrow at practice who's available and who's not.
What's the impact of not having a guy like Pedersen in the lineup?
Well, you take your best offensive player out, and usually that's not a good thing on any team. And but teams that are good enough can withstand it and withstand injuries. And other guys, that's when other guys get the opportunity to show what they have. So, I never use that as an excuse of somebody not being in the lineup or out of the lineup or what have you. It's their time. It's somebody else's time to step in.
What was your impression of Lane Pedersen today?
He could skate, and I think if you give him, it's just got to get used to the NHL that you have to get pucks away quicker. You have to do things quicker. In the American League, you have that extra second to do things, and in this league, you don't have that time.
Do you give any consideration to taking Martin out and giving Delia?
I asked him, and Martin wanted to stay in, and so a guy that's been a warrior like that for us, I'm not gonna pull him out if he wants to stay in. But I definitely asked him and thought about it, and not because of him, but because he has been the warrior for us and played every game, and it just didn't look like we were going to be able to catch up. So, but I looked at him right in the eye, and he said, "No, I want this." So
that was after 2, like in the intermission.
No, it was during the game at some point.
players know who's in and out of the lineup. When you look at the Jets side, they got 6 guys out and they lost 2 on Thursday night, yet they have this next man up mantra and it seems to work for them. Are you hopeful on some level that your players take a look at that team? I mean, not just from the skill part of it, but just having the will to play that hard, regardless who's in their lineup.
Well, there's a lot of nights we have that many guys out of our lineup and we play that hard. It just wasn't tonight. You know, I mean, I think every team in the NHL has the next man up mentality. And guys that are playing in the minors are praying that they get that opportunity to show that the next man up is the thing to do. I mean, they did it tonight, and, you know, obviously, we've got a few guys out too. And we could have had the same thing, but it wasn't there tonight. But it was there in Calgary. It's been there in Colorado and in Vegas and in San Jose and I mean all these places. But it, you know, it behooves me. Like I don't know why that we come up flat at home. It just I don't know. I have no answer for that right now.